Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and we're going to preview the upcoming projects for this week. Got a few boxes come in by mail, picked up a couple of pieces, and actually one of the projects I'm going to do involves something I previewed before, but it's just kind of taken a back seat to some of the other projects that I've had on my desk lately. It's a personal project, but I'll let you in on that one as well. So the first one comes in from North Carolina. Let's see what we got here. Always kind of interesting. I get some heads up on reels, and then I get some sort of mysteries that just kind of wind up. So I would ask you, if you're thinking of having me repair a reel for you, I would ask you that you kind of send me an email ahead of time. Let me know what's coming, and it'll be very helpful all around. So the first one up here is a Langley. Looks like I got two older bait casters. This is an old one. It's a Langley Streamlight. I've done some of the Langley series before, and this one looks like it's in nice condition, probably circa 1950s, and I'm sure that's in for a tune-up. I'll grab a note in a moment. This looks like a Langley as well. Oh no, this is a Markov. So this is a Markov by Shakespeare. Markov used to be a independent of Shakespeare, and then they combined forces. And this one, I'm going to guess, is probably around the same time. It's the model 1964, and it's a level winding reel, and it seems to be pretty good. These two seem very similar. They're not the same manufacturer or anything, but we'll tune those up, and I don't think I've done those, so we'll give it a try. Next one coming in, I think I got a heads up on this. I think these are Ocean City reels. We'll see on that. Big old box. I guess it's harder and harder to find people to repair the Ocean City reels. And Ocean City was sold off to True Temper in 1957, and it didn't survive much after that. So if you see a by True Temper, you'll know that it's post 1957 and before. It's just an Ocean City branding. We have a tight cap on that, but otherwise this reel seems to be spinning. This one is the 112, which is one of their more popular ones. This chassis size is the same as the Penn Model 60 Long Beach, and the 113 would have the wider channel, which would be similar to the Penn 65 model Long Beach. This guy's an old one. You don't see this one around much, and I'm quite curious here. It looks like we've got a some kind of a broken cap here. We're gonna have to figure that one out. This is a Ocean City free spool. I think this one may date pre-World War. I'm looking at the cone handle here. We don't have the nut here for the handle. It looks like this side is broken, so from a collectible standpoint, not that collectible. But you know what? It's working. We'll kind of get a date on that one. I'm going to do a history. I keep saying this. I'm going to do a history on Ocean City reels, and maybe this is the impetus to go do that. But this looks like another 112. This is another 112. We're tied off here, so it's kind of hard to see. They're in another one in good condition, though. Let's see what the last one brings us here. And then this one, I get a lot of questions on these. This one's the 981, but the 920 series and so on. So yeah, this one should tune up. There you go. So 3 out of 4 seem to be complete, just sluggish. Maybe I'll pick the 112 again. I'll do the 981 maybe, and we'll certainly see what we can find out about the free spool, including maybe I can find the handle on that. We'll go get some dating there as well. All right, next up then comes from Troy, Michigan. Look at this box. Wow. Not quite sure how this opens up. Shoebox, I'm not quite sure. Let's go see what we can do here. I'm certainly having my trouble with this one. So while I'm trying to navigate opening up a box, thank you to all of our first responders and essential personnel. Really do appreciate everything it is that you do, and I really do thank you for your work and your efforts here. So this one is coming from Phil. Looks like we have a bunch of pen reels in here. So let's go take a quick look. We have a pen 210. That's the high-speed version of the 209. It's also the bigger gear. The 210 uses the Jigmaster gear setting, and it also has the ball bearings. So I got this question the other day: if you're going to use a level wind reel, which one would you go for? The 210 is kind of the answer there. However, closely followed right behind by this one, which is the 310. The 310 is more stout in terms of the side plates. It has a heavier level wind feature, and this one's a nice reel overall as well. Here's the one you've heard me talk a lot about. This is the 350. This is the one I learned to fish on. It has the torsion bar level wind system, and this is essentially a Beachmaster, a pen 155 with the broader frame. That's the size of the 209, but inside those gears and everything else, even the spool says 155 on it, and that'll clean up nicely. All right, we have a pen 209 here. We're missing the spare pawl piece. Hopefully that isn't cracked out of the side plate. Other than that, we'll see what we can do. We've got this is off. All right, well, we're turning, so that's all good. Well, it's turning pretty erratically, so we'll see what's going on there. We have another 209 here, so this is where you can see that the 209 and the 350 are darn near identical in pieces and parts. That spool will fit on this reel, interestingly enough. And then we have a monofill, so another 209, and this one seems to be in better shape. So I've got a whole bunch of reels here that I'm going to be working on. I think I've pretty much covered those in my library. I'm not sure any of these will make it to video. Maybe the 210. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and check the 210 to make sure that I have one of those in my catalog, and if I don't, I will certainly do that. And Phil is going to be happy, I think, with the results of these. I think he had mentioned he's got a friend down in Florida that is going to be using those, or some of those, and I'll make sure that they're ready to go fishing for the season down there. Okay, and then the last one, I think this comes from JP. Yep, this comes from JP. You've seen some of his reels before. He's actually, I think he's the first one to send me a Langley, which we just showed you a little bit earlier. And let's see what JP has in store for me this time. Okay, so first up then, this looks like a pen 9. It's a pen 9 missing a couple of side plate screws. We'll see what we can do. I think you can still order those from Mystic Parts. Second up is a Shakespeare Alpha. I just did the big Alpha, the Alpha 70. This one is a bait caster. Just trying to see how the box gets opened here. This one should be that broad framed one. Yep, this is the broad frame Alpha. And broad, it's very stout. Seems to be working fine. I know I have not done this one, so I'll probably add that one to the previews of reels to do. We have like another pen here. I know JP does like the pens. This is the 309. This is the bigger level wind reel. This one should tune up nicely. It's a broad reel. It's got high capacity. It's a good trolling reel, and if you like the level wind guide kind of thing, it's probably the best one you can get out there. Save maybe that the bigger series 300s. Well, it's going to be my week for level line reels, that's for sure. Here's another one. This is a 209, sort of like what we just saw. This one's in beautiful condition, which is kind of what I've come to expect on the reels that JP sends into me. It's a gorgeous reel, and again, I don't know if we'll do a video on these because I've done that before. And it looks like we got a monster in the back here, something in the 49 series. 149, 349, 49. Not quite sure which one it will be, but I can tell from the side plate that it's one of those. And this one is the 49. So this is the 49. Love the etched side plates in the back of this one. And this is the Pen 49. This one is noted for the two free spool release levers. The one controls the release of the spool, so that you can do your drop fishing or your trolling. The second one is the anti-reverse override. So in this case, you have an anti-reverse, flip the lever, and you can back pedal the reel. So it's very much, those of you that are familiar with the Penn Squidder know that feature, although the override switch on the Squidder is not that pronounced. It's just a little wing kind of thing off the main gear. It serves the same function. So those are the ones that have come in the mail, and those are ones that I'll be working on this week. Many of you out there will be happy to know that I did complete the Jigmaster project. They're all done, and so we'll be able to get on that. Here's one. It's I've previewed it before, and I'm going to actually do it, and I'll post it this week. This is a Swiss-made, I'm going to say record, not record. And the record, the reason I'm going to say that is record was maybe a reference to a recorder, which was a taximeter. And I'm not sure if the Swiss company made this one or if Abu used the record, but I don't believe it's record. I believe it's record. Funny how the English language works. This one is Swiss made, and this one predates the Abu first introduction of their spinning line, and they contracted, if I got this right, they contracted with this Swiss company to provide the parts that became the Abu 700 series. This one, unfortunately, I think I'd mentioned this when I started. I bought this one as a lot of fix and repair reels. There's a little bit of a bend in the cup here. So what happens as you reel this, you can hear that rub. And this is an aluminum top in the rotor. I'm not quite sure what you do with that. You can kind of see it's pronounced right here. It's right after that bail release. So I may just leave it as it is and just use it as an example. If one of you have one of these, you'll see how to tune it up. And then finally, I have another one that's been sitting around a while, and I actually got a request for this one, so I'll be doing this one as well. This is the Ryobi transition reel. So Ryobi sold their U.S. distribution business to Berkeley. I believe that was late 1980s or early 1990s. They introduced a brand, and it was called fin-tek, to be sold to the rest of the world. It wasn't going to be sold in the U.S., but it was going to be sold to the rest of the world. And early in the transition, I guess they distributed some of these in the U.S. because that is a very fine writing here. I'm not quite sure if we can see it, but it does say Ryobi in that small print there, and then fin-tek in the bigger piece. And then this is the silver spin. It's the SX5M, and you can see on the older Ryobi, here is the Ryobi SX5. So this was a transitional reel under the new brand, pretty much the same inside, so if you have either of those, you'll be able to see it. But those are the two that are my reels that I'm going to get around to. One because I had a request from a viewer, the other one just because I want to see what's inside of this, and I finally have time now that I finished all of those Jigmasters. So that's what's on the agenda for this week. I hope you stay tuned to see the videos. If you would like to see any of these that I don't plan to do on a video, please let me know, and I will try my best to do that. let's do our part too during this pandemic. Let's make sure we do everything to stay safe and stay healthy in the new year. Let's wear our masks, maintain our social distancing, wash the hands. You know the drill by now. Let's just not get complacent here because we haven't got COVID yet, and let's not let our guard down, because health is more important than anything that we're doing here. So again, thank you to our first responders. I have a special promotion for them. If you are a first responder, if you're in law enforcement, EMT, fire and rescue, and if you're on the front line in terms of health with the doctors, nurses, hospital administrators, long-term nursing care facilities, VA hospitals, that kind of stuff, I am willing to repair your reel for free. And if you are one of those people, please contact me and I'll get you instructions on how to send that reel to me. So this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great year and have a great day. Thank you.